First of all, guys, have you seen this whole thing? They need to show a whole video of this work of art. How cool is this? Beba 2020 kuja tunapeleka watu Kawangwara kamerina kuja. What drives me? Oh my God. I think I was just born to do this. And I genuinely have a passion for what I do. And so I don't even do it out of obligation. I do it because it makes me happy. Beyond the stress that comes with this industry, beyond everything, this is something that genuinely makes me happy. And if something makes you happy, you're always gonna go back to it. You don't even need to be forced to go back to it. It's something that you're gonna be like, oh, today I wanna do this. My name is Nyokabi Macharia. I'm an actor, director, producer, and a co-founder of Shots from Africa. And I am a creative at heart and an enthusiast of the creative arts. And I do also consider myself a contributor to the industry. How I got into film, oh my gosh. Was there any other way? So I finished Daystar. I was doing public relations for my undergrad. And Daystar is it's such an artistic space as it is. And so there were so many, what is it called? Like people to look up to in the arts. When I was growing up, I didn't think arts was a career until I went to Daystar, and I had already given up that arts thing because my mother had convinced me, nah, this is not a career, but you can do it part-time. But then I go to Daystar, and every corner, it's like what? Creativity hub. You go to this corner, people are singing. You go to this corner, people are acting. You go to that corner, people are painting, people are doing what? And so it really seemed like, yeah, this is something that can work. And people like Inaya Facey, Kina Joyce Musoke, these are guys who are in Daystar. And I thought, I mean, if these guys were in Daystar, then this is very possible. It has been very eye-opening, but also being thrown in different environments. For example, I'll say something like when we went for Tinga Tinga in New York, systems were in place because Maki, we were performing at an off-Broadway stage. And so there is no kienyeji thing. You have a signing in sheet, you have a green room where you get to relax in between the shows, and it's so systematic, and it's not just vibes and inshallah. And I appreciated that about them. Now, in working in London for me was very much, I appreciated the rawness of the process. As a young creative, you feel like you want to walk into the rehearsal when you're ready. You want to walk into the rehearsal room ukiwa umeiva. But actually, the point of rehearsals is trying out, being stupid, and in that moment is when you find the magic. And then something like when we went to perform in Ghana, I think it was a very Pan-African kind of group. And so learning, first it was comforting to see that when artists unite, you are the same person. There's no I'm Zambian and I'm South African and we do this differently, even when it comes to warm-up games, but they have the same essence, or maybe it has a different beat and stuff like that. And so that was comforting to see that it's a Pan-African thing, and I belong in the industry. I belong on the global stage, and it was a reassurance of like, yep, I think I'm quite talented, yeah. My advice to us as women, I think, is to continually, it sounds so impractical because I was just gonna say, take up space, just take up space whenever you go into this. But I think knowing that you're enough and that what you're bringing to the table is worth people's time. And I think also recognizing the women that have done it before, I think that gives you some certain type of confidence, because if you can see yourself in that person, then that can energize you, and you can be like, you know what, if that person did this, so how did she do it? Okay, I'm also just gonna follow in her footsteps. So be inspired by those that came before us, but also surround yourself with people who are doing that thing that you want to do. Don't shy away from being in those spaces, because I think a lot of the times you feel intimidated. Instead of feeling intimidated, feel inspired, because they will pump you up and you'll be like, yeah, you'll be walking into space and you're like, no, today we are not doing this. Today we are rehearsing this and that. And I have said,